Didn't you just start out this by going, you've been asked this a bunch of times, so...
That's why I'm asking you to summarize in 3 words.
So, you want me to summarize this in 3 words?
Yeah.
Felt like shit.
They can do whatever they want.
Okay, but I want to ask you also predictions. The UFC 193 is coming in Melbourne. Will get you to huge women fights. Do you ever expect that the UFC will base one of the biggest events in the world in history on the women's fights?
One more time, I'm sorry.
Okay, so it's coming UFC Melbourne. One of the big
UFC Melbourne?
Yeah, with Ronda Rousey and are you on Jason, did you ever expect that the UFC in the future will make this such a huge event based on the fights of two girls to fight two women fighters?
Oh, well, women have like a high-profile fight as the men. Well, I mean, UFC's already saying Ronda has done it. They're saying that her card in Brazil outdid UFC 189, and UFC 189 was talked about being one of the biggest of all time. I don't know the truth in it. That was just some of the things that I had read. Even if she got close to it, it's like that's amazing. So obviously, you know, Ronda, it's about a star, man or woman. If you're a star, you're kicking ass, and you got people following you, it can be done. So yeah, anything's possible, and she's already doing it, I think. So.
Okay, do you think that Joanna could be in the future as big a star as Ronda now?
Who?
Joanna and Jake.
Man, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, if she can keep the title and she's going to keep learning, I think the reason Ronda stood out. You remember Ronda had a good run in Strike Force. She got she learned a lot. By the time she came to the UFC, she was already learning how to do her thing, get her name out there, and be charismatic. You know, Joe Jan's the same way. Like she's going to stay a champion. She's going to keep learning, and yeah, people love watching her fight. I like watching her. I'm a fan of her because she goes out and she whoops ass. So I'll watch her fight any day. So.
Do you think you get the respect you deserve in UFC's organization right now?
Oh, of course not. But it's up to me to keep taking the respect. You know, I just gotta get the fights that I need, and I'll earn the respect. You know, it's just I'm not gonna be respected until I have the title. I know that. You know, no one's gonna.
And why is that?
Because everyone just it's because people are fickle. You know, they look at me and they're like, they make judgments. They have no idea what I'm capable of. They never trained with me. They make assumptions. They like the guys that they like. You know, it is what it is. I mean, I think my last couple fights especially, I got people that believe in me. I got people that are behind me and they think I can beat anybody, and I want to prove I'm right. So it just takes time. I just need the fights. That's all it is. You know, I have a 3-fight win streak, but 2 big notable wins. You know, it's not enough. I needed this fight. I needed to beat Stipe this weekend. I think I would have got the respect I needed. But, you know, I'm gonna have to wait now.
On the flip side of that, one of the things, probably the big positive that has come out of this view is the reaction that you've had from the fans and the amount of respect that you've got from them. You know, they seem to appreciate your situation and understand the tough spot that you found yourself in. Is there any solace you can take from the fact that, you know, you are a hugely popular fighter with the fans and they do sort of sympathise with the situation that you found yourself in?
The fans are everything. I mean, they just more that they're going to realize that I'm fighting for them. And I think that, yeah, I've got a group of fans around the world that got my back now like I've never had before. So yeah, it is awesome to see the comments. People got my back and people think like, you know, they're supporting me and putting it out there. And you know, I think it's starting to come out. People are starting to know who I am and what I'm really about, and realizing that I'm fighting for something more than myself. And I think the more that message becomes clear, I think I'm going to take over. I'm going to get the world behind me. So, but I need to tell you.
Do you think the sport has become too much of an entertainment and less of a sport? Or is it fair enough that it is?
It is. Yeah, it is what it is. It has to be some entertainment. You know, just us getting in the ring and fighting. I mean, that might work in the Netherlands and Europe, but the United States especially, like, Kim Kardashian is on covers. It's like, it blows my mind. It makes no sense whatsoever. Here's this no talent, you know, what have you, that's all over, you know what I mean? Why? Because people love drama, they love the stuff, and, you know, the UFC's just got to play the game, and it's fine. It's like, I was talking, they were asking me earlier about what I think of Ronda Rousey and Travis Browne being headlines. Yeah, I think it's nonsense. Like, we can't think of something better to talk about. You know, there's some of this stuff that comes up, but whatever, we've got people talking about the sport. I just like to see it done a little more tact, and I'd like to see more stories done with the good things done. You know, us doing things for charities, us doing positive things, you know, for the world, for the community, not all the selfish things. Oh, so and so bought a new car. Who cares? Like, I'd like to see less selfishness and people being more selfless and helping the world, helping themselves outside of their training and stuff like that. So,
can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing as far as charity and whatnot?
So I work with a couple differents there in my state. One thing that I did, if people didn't know, after I defeated Alistair Overeem, I made a video right before the fight. And I said, if I win the bonus, I'm going to donate. You know, everybody was doing the bucket challenge, but there was a young man that got hit by a drunk driver and he lost his arm, and it was a horrible situation. I ended up donating $5,000 to him, and that $5,000 actually saved his arm. So it was pretty awesome. I have no idea what that kid's arm could do someday. You know, who knows what check he might write, what thing he might do, it might change the course of the universe. I have no idea, but I did it, and you know, I know that I changed someone's life, and with each one of my wins, I'm trying to do more of that. I have, like I said, I'm not fighting for myself anymore. So the sport's greater than me, and you know, you can have all the money in the world, but you're gonna die someday. And then what do you got? What did you leave the world when it's done? You know, that you bought a bunch of stuff for yourself, you took care of yourself. You'll be forgotten. You'll be forgotten as fast as you were made. So my goal, I won't be right. I won't die with peace if I don't figure out a way to change the planet, at least the way that I'm supposed to. So.
You seem to have a very sort of unique and refreshing take on your role within the sport and, you know, your sort of place within it. Your longevity in the sport is especially for a heavyweight fighter, is pretty remarkable, especially in the modern day. What is it you think that's kept you at this high level for such a long time? I mean, you know, an awful lot of fights as a heavyweight fighter at very, very high level for mixed martial arts. If you look at most of the guys at this level, they haven't had that level of fights that you've had in terms of volume.
Because I believe I'm destined to be a champion that the sport has never had before, and I'm going to fulfill that destiny.
And you know, we've got lots of new fighters coming into the sport. UFC is a much bigger machine now than it perhaps was when you joined. How have the fighters? How have you seen the fighters change from when you first came into the sport?
So Robbie Lawler and I were just talking about this. You know, when him and I came into the sport, you didn't brag about being a fighter. People would think you were crazy. Like, it's for real. Like, we weren't getting paid much of anything. The reason we fought is because we love to fight. We're competitors and we love martial arts. That's why we started. And everything that came after, like these big shows, UFC's blew up. You gotta think, UFC back then, before it was UFO, I mean, the sport was gonna get banned. Like, it was, and we were still trying to fight because we love fighting. Now, I see less of that, and I see more guys coming into the sport about what they can, you know, how much money they can make, how many girls they can get, how popular it can be. You know, these things don't mean anything. These are not reasons to fight, and this is not a reason to be in the sport. And I see more of them. That's the younger guys, but you know, they also are the ones that'll get cut right away too, because the universe knows you can't lie what's in your heart and what are you really fighting for. You know, and there's enough guys that are fighting for themselves that, you know, they don't last, and neither will their legacies. So.
UFC heavyweight Matt Trio and also MMA fighter, all-time kickboxer. They both wanted to fight here in Dublin. Would you have taken both fights?
No, I'd have took both fights. I'd have fought on the same night. That's fine. Tyrone Spawn is a different weight class, but he's also signed with the World Series of Fighting. Matt Miocic had a contract signed to fight Travis Brown. I was never offered a fight with anybody. If I would have fought anybody. I'm keeping it unranked fight. I would have fought anybody. I really wanted to fight in Ireland, and anything said otherwise was just bullshit. So.
Why do you think the UFC didn't plan like Mitrione to fight Tyrone Spawn as well? Why do you think they didn't?
Well, because I just said they have contracts signed for other fights.
Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't know what was going on.
I was finished.
Oh, you were finished?
Yeah,
oh.
I was just looking for you if you want to say.
How you doing? Is this